Yeah, we've got quite the ESPN showdown in the Garden tonight as the Thunder will bring the league's best defense to town to battle the Knicks' third best offense. But since January 21st, it's been the Knicks leading the league in defensive efficiency. That's after ranking 18th up to that point. And SGA has never lost in his career visits to the current Madison Square Garden. He is one of 4 players to start in and win each of their first 6 visits to the modern MSG. Here's Shea Butter, as we like to call him, on his game.
I would describe my game as
the NBA, the greatest basketball players in the world.
To really be the coolest dude in the room when you walk in, but also be the smoothest on the court.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is special.
Really weird, bro.
cerebral.
He's just ridiculous. Shai is just putting on an absolute clinic, bro.
Elusive.
When I get to snapping like doo-wop.
Do a couple of defender. What a move by SGA!
Say I'm too sick, I chew. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
OKC is dealing with several injuries. SGA missed last night's game and is still dealing with that abdominal strain. Who's available tonight, Tim?
Yeah, SGA, that was preventative maintenance last night, just being cautious coming back from the ab strain, sitting out the first night of a back-to-back. Same with Isaiah Hartenstein. He'd had a calf strain a couple times this year. Being careful with him. Also, you don't exactly have to bring your best to beat the Bulls. Jalen Williams will be reevaluated here in the next couple days. I don't have a feel on whether a green light is coming for him. A.J. Mitchell, a key reserve for them, has been out for a while. First an ab strain, was ready to come back, sprained his ankle during the All-Star break working out. I'm told probably at some point next week for him.
Okay. Chiney, what can the Knicks prove tonight?
Whew, man, to be a New York Knicks fan, I feel like I was saying earlier today that you need blood pressure medication with like the performances
not
being
for
so
the week.
Up and down. It is not for the week. But the good thing is that it feels like they're ascending at the right time. They're identifying themselves with the greatness that we saw over the course of last year's postseason. And so what's at stake? They can prove to themselves that they are the team that beat the San Antonio Spurs a couple days ago. They can prove to themselves that we actually found a rubric versus the Raptors, because I love the box score. Karl-Anthony Towns took 17 shots. Jalen Brunson took 22. Jalen Brunson also had 10 assists, and they kept their opponent under 100 points. If you can keep that going, moving forward, that's a recipe for success. Now, also, if they can beat the team that is currently the defending champs, then they feel like, hey, we've got the Spurs, we've got the Thunder, and so maybe we can get rid of our boogeyman, which is a Detroit Pistons.
Oh, I was going to say, they didn't get the Pistons.
Maybe that means that if we can go up against them, like, we can actually be the team that needs to get the wins when it matters most, because their heart was broken last year. They want to right the wrongs this year.
And look, with the Pistons, what happened against the Pistons? What has happened repeatedly against the Pistons? They've wilted because the Pistons are bullies. That physicality. Guess who else is some bullies? OKC, Lou Dort.
True.
Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso. Like, there's going to be some physical defense. This is going to be a great test for the Knicks.
You know what's crazy? The Oklahoma City Thunder, they have had multiple of their star players out a number of games. They've had 26 different starting lineups, yet they are still right where they need to be in the Western Conference.
That part.
And they're able to still withstand that. They still have the #1 defense in the NBA, so this will be a good test for the Knicks.
How do you think this Knicks defense is going to be tonight? What are you expecting from them?
Listen, I didn't think the Knicks could put together this kind of defensive stretch. So let's just start with giving them credit. There was a lot of questions about, can a team built around Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns be good enough defensively to contend for a championship? It's about a quarter of the season sample size. This isn't some little blip here where they're not just the #1 team defensively during that stretch, but it's by a significant margin. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a fluke. That's too large of a sample size. You know what it kind of reminds me of? The year the Mavericks went to the finals, the last quarter of the season, they went from not being very good defensively to the #1 defense in the league during that stretch.
That's true.
That's what it feels like for these Knicks. They've found something there.
I know we do our own power rankings, but it's interesting to me because, like, the Knicks are rising, the Cavs are rising, the Celtics might be getting Jason Tatum back soon. Like, they're rising, so it's different. The standings may not reflect where these teams are trending.
Typical of the East. What are you expecting from my play cousin, Karl-Anthony Towns, tonight?
Look, that's hilarious. Cat has to understand the ebbs and flows of the game. And I understand that this system may not be designed for him to always get the touches he wants, but he has to choose to to make his influence felt regardless of that. As someone who played the post position, if this was not my night, the strategy was for the guards to do their thing, pick and roll, shoot from three, I would still go out there and get an offensive rebound. I would still go out there and try to find a mismatch and demand the ball. And I do believe the last few days have been turning of a corner for him because maybe hopefully the hard conversations have been had. So it's like, we value you, we will find you, but we also need you to help when other people are thriving, when other people are eating.
Yeah, no question. I'm expecting a big game from him. If nothing else, let's make me look good. Come on. Represent for the family. No relation, by the way, guys. It's just because he's Dominican, so we always claim each other.
I love playing. I can't wait to get back. I have some build-up tension in me.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, his first game back for Milwaukee.
Back in the city, it's time to see it. I want it, I take it, it's mine.
Look out below. Welcome back, Giannis.
I'm happy that I'm back. I'm just happy that I'm out there, being able to, help my teammates and just do what I love, which is play basketball.
Big game tonight in the East play-in race on ESPN. Giannis set to play his second game since missing 15 with a calf strain. The Greek Freak went 19 on 11 in his first game back in just over 25 minutes. Now for the Hawks, Jonathan Kuminga has gotten off to a hot start in his Atlanta tenure. He's one of 7 players since the merger to average 20 on 65% shooting in his first 3 games with the franchise, and the first Hawk to do so. And Jalen Johnson is putting together a breakout season. He's one of 2 players to average 20, 10, and 7 this season, along with 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic. He's averaging career highs in all 3 of those categories. The Hawks lead the Bucks by 4 games for the final play-in spot in the East, entering tonight's crucial play-in race matchup on ESPN. And Milwaukee can clinch the head-to-head tiebreaker over Atlanta with a win tonight. Ooh, it's getting spicy. Atlanta has won 4 straight. The Bucks have lost their last 3, but Giannis is back, folks. Tim, what's at stake for the Bucks in this matchup?
A chance in hell of making the play-in.
Screaming.
I mean, come on. 4 back. You lose this one, it's 5. Forget about it. You're not catching the Buzz City Killers. That much I can guarantee you. So you win tonight. Keep hope alive to maybe squeeze in the playoffs and still not win a single playoff game. You lose tonight, April 13th. Go ahead and book your flights. Go to the beach, Cancun, Santorini, maybe, wherever you want to go. But it ain't going to be the play-in, and it sure ain't going to be the playoffs.
This is a funny question. What's at stake? We all know what's at stake. Like, it's not these games. It's more so the offseason for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And while I absolutely commend, like 100,000%, his character stepping on the floor, it's just crazy how these 2 things are diametrically opposed. You have someone that is handling, in my opinion, as a consummate professional, Giannis Antetokounmpo, coming back from injury, still doing his job, for the legacy of what he has with the Milwaukee Bucks. I know that there's a, maybe, I don't know if it's higher than 1.5%, higher than their chances of making the playoffs, chance that he comes back. But still, he has handled this, in my opinion, admirably, even despite getting booed at times from the fans. Now, the entire organization, we're going to look at what they do later on. To me, the most fascinating part, by far, is the Jonathan Kuminga situation.
Okay, come on.
Because in football, they have, is it the last guy that gets drafted? Is he called, what is he called?
Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah. A lot of people are like, why are we talking about Jonathan Kuminga so much? Wendy, I know this is his, like...
The people love Jonathan Kuminga, that's why.
But, like, he's probably the most relevant, in some ways irrelevant to the big scheme of power because of the way that things were handled with the Warriors, but now seeing him thrive. In 3 games, he's averaged 21 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists on 67% shooting. One thing we know about the NBA, we love to stay petty. And so this is a petty storyline that just keeps going and going and going at probably the expense of the Warriors, because I do think it's hard on the other side. You know, the situation with Kristaps Porzingis, that is a tough situation to manage with a lot of question marks there. But now you're seeing, like, the dialogue between the 2, and Kuminga just, you got your time and now you shine.
And look, these are 2 trade sagas that played out before the deadline. Will they trade Giannis? Will he ask out? What's going to happen with Giannis? Which, honestly, this saga has been playing out for years and years and years. I kind of got Giannis fatigue. It felt like the Kuminga thing was going to play out forever. They finally moved him, and he's doing what he said he could do. You know, he said, hey, I'm a guy, if you put the ball in my hand, I'm going to get buckets. He has done that. Now, Giannis, you mentioned getting booed. They weren't booing Giannis in Milwaukee. They were booing the Bucks. Do you know why?
Really? Are you sure? You think so?
Yes, they were booing the Bucks because they were getting blown out because the Bucks stink, which is why Giannis wants out, even though he's not willing to.
That's fair.
I know.
He took
say that loud.
He took it personal because he's like, this is the place that I'm home. This is the place that I'm actually handling this process with the utmost respect. But he felt he was in his feelings, so he booed back. And I still thought that was okay, but everyone shamed me on this show for saying the boo back was not cool.
I was for it.
I 4-2.
I like
you put your body on the line.
I like
you bring a
chippy Giannis out there.
But look, they must not know what it's like to be a New York Knicks fan because they will boo their team.
Yeah, don't ask to be traded to New York if you don't like getting booed.
Right?
Not for the week, that is for sure.